Recently, I covered a news story about a guy who had a possible parasitic infection, which led to edema, tissue necrosis, and liquefaction, and a blackened, engorged, rotting scrotum. In a personal context, it was horrible. But in a medical context, it was grotesque and fascinating. Well, today I bring you more news about insane, disgusting medical stories. Today's story begins with a young man named Wang Lei, who lives in the city of Guangzhou in the southeastern region of China. Mr. Lei, through some unfortunate series of events, happened to come into contact with either the eggs or an adult specimen of a tapeworm of the species Sparganum monsoni. Now, this particular species of tapeworm is long and thin, with a rectangular cross-section, and a curling head equipped with hooks and suckers. Usually, this particular species of tapeworm is found in the intestines of dogs and cats, and its eggs and larvae can be found in frogs, snails, and snakes. It can also be found in humans, although this is relatively uncommon. Human infection can occur when someone eats an infected animal, be it a snail or a frog, or a cat or a dog, without properly cooking it first. Infection can also occur if the eggs exist in water, and the water is consumed without being boiled or sterilized through some other mechanism first. Despite the tapeworm's infrequent appearance in humans, fate rolled the dice for Mr. Lei, and unfortunately, he lost. The tapeworm infection occurred sometime between 2004 and 2007, because by 2007, Mr. Lei had begun to notice strange symptoms. He had told friends and family that he was feeling a strange numbness across the left side of his body. And over the years, the strange feelings got worse, and his health declined. He began to suffer from seizures, which racked his body with increasing frequency, and at other times, he would suffer from blackouts, randomly losing consciousness like a flickering light bulb with faulty wiring. He sought medical treatment, getting examined by specialist after specialist, desperately hoping for an accurate diagnosis. But the best suggestion that Mr. Lei got was a speculative diagnosis of a possible malignant brain tumor. But even here, the doctors weren't quite sure. It took more than a decade before the actual cause was discovered. In 2018, doctors identified a large tapeworm, some 12 centimeters long, growing in his brain. The tapeworm was literally eating his brain from the inside out, degrading his neural tissue and breaking down the neural circuitry as a byproduct of its parasitic metabolism. As if this wasn't bad enough, the doctors told Mr. Lei that this particular region of his brain where the tapeworm was too important, it was too delicate to be put through surgery. So he would have to find some kind of non-surgical solution, or just deal with it. However, Mr. Lei found this outcome unacceptable, and he demanded surgery. Eventually, he was scheduled for a 2-hour operation at the Guangdong Sanjiu Brain Hospital, and one of his doctors, named in the source article only as Dr. Zhu, was quoted as saying, "The surgery was risky. The live tapeworm was moving in his brain, and we had to remove all of it. Otherwise, the leftover part could grow again." Unquote. Now, as horrible and disgusting as it is to have a living tapeworm squirming around in your brain and eating your brain from the inside, the story does have a happy ending. Mr. Lei survived his risky surgery, and the tapeworm was fully removed. He still has a large gaping hole in his brain where the parasite burned away the tissue, but he will live another day, and his symptoms, like numbness, seizures, and blackouts, will diminish, and ideally, after some time, they'll go away entirely. This is yet another victory for modern medical science, and it should make us all feel a bit better. Should any of us be so unlucky as to suffer from a parasitic infection in a delicate area of our brain, we can take solace in the fact that there is precedent for survival and recovery.